Here, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'll call this meeting to order, September 14th. This is Thompson Zoning Board of Appeals on Zoom. And first order of business is to introduction of two new members. We welcome you, Earl and Ross, as alternate members.
Thank you.
Welcome to the board.
Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
board. During our times when we have our public hearings, if there's an absentee of a regular member, one of you will fill, or Leslie, the three of you would fill one of the vacancies to make a 5-member board vote. But we certainly encourage you to participate in the discussions, and anything you have to say, feel free.
Okay.
We have no public hearings tonight. Our next order of business would be the approval of the regular ZBA minutes from June 8th.
Can I do a roll call, please?
No, that's yes, you're right. Yeah, we do need a roll call. I'm sorry, Kurt. So we have no seating of alternates, but if we could have a member call out, please. We'll start with Jason.
Jason St. Ange.
Kirby.
Kirby Tuna.
Leslie.
Leslie, hello.
Ken.
Kenneth White.
Jeff.
Jeff Bolte.
And Earl.
Earl Rosebrooks.
And Ross.
Ross Dimick.
So we won't be seating any of our alternates because we have a 5-member board. This evening, we have no public hearings, and we do need an approval of the regular ZBA minutes from June 8th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from June 8th.
Kirby made the motion.
I'll second that motion.
Ken seconded the motion. In your packages, you've got some correspondence. If you've had a chance to look at it, A, B, and C are planning and zoning minutes. D is the ZEO report that has quite a bit of information in it. If you haven't read it, you should. E, F, and G are budget numbers, and I guess we have a budget of $3,268 allotted to us for the year. H, I, J, and K are notices from abutting towns of their variances, and in some cases, the results of those. Jared Lockwood gave us a letter of resignation, and we thank him for his service on the board. The Connecticut Federation of Planning and Zoning. I don't know if you've had a chance to read it, but there's some pretty interesting stuff in there too. And I don't know if everybody received their membership list, but I would encourage you to look at it and make sure that your phone numbers and your emails are correct. Everybody good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes.
Yes.
Chairman?
For Ross and Earl, we're gonna accept, or we're gonna have an application that we're gonna accept this evening, just so you know that we don't discuss the merits or whatever problems are of that until the actual day of the public hearing. It's basically accept it, and then when the public hearing is open, we have the discussion. So before us is an application, ZBA 20-05. It's a variance request, property owner Charles Tewksbury. If I can get somebody to approve the application.
I'll approve the application.
No, second.
Ken, and who's the second?
Jason.
Jason. Applications received after the agenda posted. I assume we have none.
No, there isn't any.
Thanks, Cindy. Anybody have comments on any old business?
Tomorrow, life changes in the zoning office. Regulations are going ahead. There'll be a lot of changes. I've had like 3 or 4 requests, things that are going to happen after September 15th. And I just tell the people, please have patience with me, even though I've read it 6 times. And we don't have our final copies yet. And when I get my final copy, I will be tabbing it because it's pretty tough going through it without tabs on it in the office. So we're having 26 binders printed, and we will have enough binders for all the ZBA members. And when the binders come in, then what we'll do is we'll just email you and tell you the binders are in, and you can just come and, at your convenience, come and pick them up.
When will those be available, Cindy?
Well, John and Tara and Joe met this afternoon at 3 when I was leaving work, and to finalize everything. So I'm sure within the next couple of days that John Rice is going to be sending the order over to Chase Printers to print up and put the binders together.
So that it'll be pretty quick then.
Sure.
So I guess we're covering the zoning regulations review right now? Is that part of this, Cindy?
But yeah, so does anybody have any questions they want to ask me? Oh, Gloria's calling me. Hold on, guys. Hi.
I hope on the vote on the minutes, I had a first and a second.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll tell him.
What
Yeah.
about the application? Same thing on the application.
Okay, all right, I'll tell him. Okay, bye. Okay, did you have a vote on the minutes when you had a first and second?
Yeah, Kirby said, approve them, and Jason
Kirby, I
seconded
think
it.
Ken
Seconded it.
seconded it.
So did you call a vote?
To approve the minutes?
You're right.
I guess I didn't. I'm derelict.
Okay.
Does everybody approve the minutes? Vote of yes or no?
Yes.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody opposed? Vote carries.
Okay, and then on the application, she said that there was a first and second, but she didn't hear the vote on it.
Again, anybody opposed to the application variance request? I should say all in favor, say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Vote carries. We're a little rusty. We haven't done a meeting in quite a while.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So any questions on the zoning review regulations?
I guess what is the most glaring thing that changed, Cindy?
Let's see.
So the two
Well,
most glaring things.
I know one of the things that changed that I all of a sudden it just like popped into my head. It's only a 10-foot front setback in the downtown mill commercial, something like that. And when I went to quote that to someone, I like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And of course I was in on all these meetings, and of course I knew, but there was so much. So I just didn't think that so after that I was driving, I had to leave to go to a site visit, and I'm on Riverside Drive, and you know where the brick houses are by on Riverside Drive.
The one that's down in the hole there?
Mhm.
Yeah, they're so close to the to Route 12.
Right.
And I'm driving down there, and somebody's trying to back out, and I'm going, oh, gee, that's why we probably should have more of a front setback on the front, because you're backing out into the street. So So that kind of glared out at me a little bit. Of course, I didn't agree with it at that time when we were discussing with it, but then I don't have a vote, which is okay. But they certainly listened to all the staff. They didn't listen on that one. The difficulty that's going to be is because the zones have changed and we have the new large zoning maps. You know, one in my office went out front there. There are no streets on them, which there are no streets on the old maps, but those zones have been around for years and years and years. And even when I came in, 3 years ago, I didn't find it that difficult to figure out what zone was on that particular map. I think this is going to be tough, trying to figure out which zone somebody's in. We had that today, Donna and I can't remember exactly where it was, but I mean, she actually, I know what it was the person who was making the inquiry about what he can do in the new zone. And he said, excuse me, on the map that he looked at online, it took him an hour to find Blaine Road. Now, it's not going to take us an hour because we know, but it's going to take some time, actually. But it took him an hour to find out what zone he is in because there are no street markings.
There's no street markings on the zoning map?
No street markings. But there wasn't on I think on the other zoning map, I think the major streets were like
Right,
Route
the main
12.
highway was on there and.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
Now,
there's.
but the main highway's not on this one either?
Don't quote me, but I don't think so.
It doesn't sound good.
No, so that's going to be tough. Unfortunately, because even, I've lived here all my life, but I knew Thompson, but not certainly as well as I know Thompson after these last 3 years. So that's going to be tough. The other part is going to be tough is that with Donna's experience in the office for over 20 years, she and I fed off each other so much when we had questions, when somebody came in with an issue, and we just balanced each other so well for answers, whether she was looking for them from me or I from her. And I will have to say, in 3 years, because I was new, I probably asked her more than she asked me. Now we're both going in this green, so there won't be that bouncing off. The other part for the zoning office that's going to be tough is I have to keep out the old book because now there will be substantial, I feel and I hope I'm wrong, there'll be substantial non-conforming issues coming up. So you have to have that old book to refer back to. So especially on violations, especially on, like I got a call from an appraiser today. So I had to give them the answer because it's the 14th. I had to give them the answer on the old regulations. Tomorrow, there might have been a different answer. So
as a point of note here, when zoning changes and the person is affected by it and they own the property when the zoning changes, that's probably one of the clearest times that a variance would be appropriate. Right. Because the town has aggrieved them of their past rights.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that non-conforming is really, really going to come into play, I think, big time. Maybe not so much in they call it residential agricultural something, the combination of R40 and 80. Maybe not so much there, but perhaps in the more dense areas that will come to play. But I think, I don't, I could tell you guys because it's all over now, but when they were talking about, Main Street and all those areas down there, and they were talking about what they're going to do, and I just looked at them and I said, has anybody ever been to one block in Queens? And they kind of looked, and we were all doing a Zoom, and I said, that's what Thompson's going to look like, one block in Queens with all these new regulations. So everybody got a laugh out of it. So we'll see what happens. It's your town, and it's, people and the staff and, the members and stuff, they wanted to see some advancement. And so hoping that the commercial that we have put in there will bring in more people. But I'll keep you updated as time goes on at our meetings. Any more questions on it?
Nope.
Okay.
Members, any comments from the members? Anything you'd like to point out or say?
No, not till I see the new regs. I haven't seen them, so I don't know what's going on, but we'll see.
Okay.
So sounds like there's quite a bit of changes that went on.
Yes, yes.
A lot of it's the expanding of the what's that zone that the mill's in, the
Unfortunately, I don't have the book in front of me, so I apologize, but I think it's called Downtown Mill, something like that.
doesn't a lot of the stuff they're allowing to fall into that same category now?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, and then I found out today in the old zoning regulations, we have limitations on the acreage for horse academy and horse stables. And if you have over 5 horses, you have to have 10 acres. That's the current till midnight tonight regulations. And that issue was not addressed at all. So, and then there was no issue addressed on the amount of chickens. Right now, the current zone regulations say 150, and there's no reference to the number of chickens. And in the old regulations, there is no reference to the amount of livestock. And we carry that over to the new one. But the horse academy could, somebody, well, I've had a couple of requests on what they're supposed to do. So with horses on land. So that might be a challenge, but we'll see what happens. Regardless, I still enjoy my job.
All right, well, any other comments? We'll adjourn the meeting.
Do you want any comments on Linehouse base auto update? Because I do have a update after the memo. Did everybody read, what I wrote on?
I read the memo, but I would like to have an update if you got more information.
Right.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, this past Thursday, I had gone in. I don't know if everyone's aware, but there was a caretaker on the property, and he had always been kind to me. Every time I went out there after Fred died and then after Shara died. And I had said, he's out on the property, he lives in the trailer. And I said, Steve, you have got to get out of the trailer. He said, well, I'm here, as I said in my memo, to take care of the property. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, blah, blah, blah. So I went over 2 weeks ago and I said, Steve, we've got to get these violations taken care of. This is one of the violations. You have 2 weeks. He got angry with me, and then I looked at it, he started swearing. I said, not me, don't do that to me. And then he changed. And so last Thursday, a gentleman comes into the office and he says, Steve is going to be gone. We're taking care of Steve. Now, the history behind Steve is he's been there for 35 years. He knows absolutely nothing else but working in that salvage operation. What they did is they raised money for him. They found a job for him in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, with a gentleman that used to be up here and then moved down to North Carolina, and they're sending him to North Carolina. And I just thought that was the kindest thing in the world for someone to do to someone who actually had nowhere to go. Of course, I felt bad telling him every time, you got to get out of here, Steve. But so he should be gone. They said if it's not gone by this weekend, it'll definitely be Monday or Tuesday of this week. And then they had 20 cats, some feral, some kittens, and we discussed where they should go. And they're trying to, they're calling paws and everything. So they're, people are trying. That's all the update. Oh, I know, the other thing is, he told me that on 77 Linehouse Road, there's only one automobile there. And on 65 Linehouse Road, he thought they were all gone, and I have to go over and see. I have not gone there since Thursday. But, and then it's just who's the highest bidder on the other side. And then the decision has to go to the Planning and Zoning Commission as to whether that is a non-conforming business. If someone decides that they want to take it and keep it as a salvage operation, but was taking care of all the violation, and you saw the list of violations that I sent over. So
Cynthia,
it's moving.
Was it not I thought it was my impression that they wouldn't be allowed to reopen that.
Some of the board members think they can't, and I'm basing it on non-conforming, and I haven't really examined it because I don't know what the two prospective buyers, or who of the two prospective buyers I will be dealing with.
Well, from what I read, there's a lot of hurdles that they have to
Yes.
get over before they even get to the point of looking for a license. Am I correct? Correct. They've got probate issues. They've got they've got a lot of issues to.
Probably
even think about
EPA
it.
there too.
What's that, Jason?
Probably EPA.
Yeah, environmental issues, I'm sure.
I have the report, the environmental report. So if anybody wants to see it, it's in the office. Interestingly enough, it's not as serious as I thought it would be, but I don't know how far into the ground they dug.
Who did the environmental impact?
The state,
Really?
DEEP, they sent it to me. Yep. I mean, I only went through it once, and I haven't gone through it again. I figured, again, when someone says, yeah, we want to open it, well, then you have to get serious about all the record to look at. And, and I did straighten out the record about 6 months ago, and it was a mess. I would have to call the next door neighbor to see if they were satisfied with the fence. If they have a fence, I would have to figure out from all the minutes whether there's supposed to be 2+ acres or 3+ acres. They went back and asked for 3, and I just couldn't. The work that I did, I couldn't figure it out whether it's 2 or 3. So all those things have to be worked out. And the people who have the most financial investment in it understand all that, because they invested $100,000 about 10 years ago. It fell through with Fred, but they never got their money back. So they're the ones that doing the, what did I call it? The judgment debitors. They're the judgment debitors, are Carlos Betos. And from what I understand, the executor, an attorney Barry, wanted to wash his hands of it, but what Carlos told me, it did go to court, and the court said to Barry, no, you've got to finish your part of this. So
How did he was appointed by the court? Or
no, Barry was, I don't know how Barry was appointed as executor. That's an interesting question. I don't understand.
you can't get out though, huh?
What?
You can't get out.
Right. And of course there's an LLC. I mean, it is very convoluted. So we'll see what happens. But there's basically the
We have
report.
this discussion again.
Yeah, the reports are to let you know that, we are doing our best to try to clean it up for the neighborhood, which is the ultimate goal.
All right. Any other business?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that motion, Jason. We're gonna have a vote on it too. Those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Ah.
Opposed? Meeting's closed.
Night, everyone.
Okay.
Good night, guys.
And that's
Bye,
right,
guys.
guys.
You too, Leslie, Cindy, Gloria. Good night.
Hi. Good night.